Hi, this is Self Discovery Support, and this is another open general reading. It's an open message for you, and I think what's happening with this reading is it feels like rather than two, I have been seeing in the messages two people. This feels like the perspective of one person. It may be for those of you watching, for if you're thinking of someone, it's like a way to see into what they could be experiencing. All right, so we got the dice, hope. I like that. Unspoken and wasteland. All right, so it feels like a lot of hopes and dreams kind of dashed or like fears about that happening. I think what I see here is, let's start with the hope. This one was particularly difficult for me to kind of sort through the hope one. It's trying to figure out what that person was trying to say, like where they're going with this. 6 of Torches, 9 of Pentacles, Prince of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. I'm using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot for those of you that are interested in that. But it felt like it was particularly difficult to sift through because it's a complex set of emotions or thoughts that somebody's having. In a sense, it's kind of really simple, which is it feels like somebody that is trying to be a lot more steady in themselves, a lot more stable and secure. It's almost like it's a lot like trying to prepare yourself for a relationship that you particularly have in mind. It's like taking, like, let's say you were in a connection or a relationship with someone and there were a lot of difficulties with this person, or you two just had a difficult time together, and it's like this person assessing afterwards what the issues were and then like trying to reflect and then trying to make the changes, but they're not necessarily saying that to you. I feel like you hope that change could happen in the person. I feel like there's a kind of difference of viewpoints. I don't think that it's anything that is like a massive deal breaker. Like, we're not looking at like extremes in a person, but there is something that is not quite matching between the two of you. It feels like this person, one of the ways that they're trying to solve that is to try to make sure that they are much more stable financially and also more secure through the work that they do. This could be somebody that really values that, like the development of somebody, development of career and stability of life. I think they care how you see them is kind of the point of all of this. And I think there's a hope in them that if they are able to solve these things, that would first of all be healing to the connection. So it's like somebody who's not really saying a lot with the High Priestess here, but is withdrawing and trying to fix this by fixing themselves. And to me, that is a really hopeful type of energy, because like you often don't get that in tarot readings. But right here, I'm seeing somebody that recognizes that what they needed to do to approach the connection is to kind of stabilize themselves. Maybe they had a lot of fears and doubts in themselves, not about the connection, but just in general as a person. And maybe they approach things a little bit impulsively. And impulsive is relative, because I can see, like, with the Six of Wands here, like, your person could be a fire sign, and that is how a fire sign would operate, is this kind of energetically driven connection. Yeah. But then it feels like somebody going through the changes of anchoring themselves into a more like earthy energy. So I'm feeling like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius moving into a kind of Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. And it's like all of this is happening through almost like spiritual intervention and inner work is what I want to say. I think maybe you don't know this, but I feel like your person is actually doing a lot of inner commune and healing. The unspoken, let's look at that. So the unspoken here, we have the King of Swords and the Magician and the Ace of Torches. It feels that I think your person is like, there's a world within them. I think that's how I would describe them. Somebody that's probably very reserved, probably very self-contained, independent, but they're super sharp, super intuitive, and able to discern very well. I think they could also be a really good communicator as well, but it feels like they're not as emotional or emotionally expressive. And that's why I felt like this is the journey of a person, because over here I'm seeing this person trying to figure out, like, okay, if I do this, if I work on myself in these ways, it felt like my person wanted this. These are the things that they wanted to see happen in me. If I do this, will this work? And so there's a lot of kind of hope that they're bringing to this, like, if I make these changes, will this result in success in this for us and for me? I see with the Magician and the Torches, like, really feeling like through the work that they're doing, that they could really bring this together. I think there's a lot more kind of mental activity happening here. Like, they're figuring out, it's like almost like a time, this time it feels like somebody taking a lot of time out to like, sit with themselves, do the work needed, even if it's just internally and not necessarily like, going to counseling or anything like that, or like speaking to people. It feels like your person is figuring out that, okay, I still have, they still have this spark. I think this is someone that really struggles with expressing themselves in a certain way, but it's somebody that is willing to do that. I love that. Like, self-growth is always so important, and it's not about like where you meet people, but where they're willing to go with you, I feel. Let's look at the wasteland. Now, this part is, I think, someone saying that they are looking at the nature of how things happen. We have the Nine of Torches and the Star. It's like looking at, there's a sense that I feel like this person has tried within their bandwidth, within their scope, everything that they could potentially try to make this happen. And sometimes, people will say like that your trying is not good enough, but I think it's maybe thinking about the fact that people try the best with what they have. And so if your person is really excellent in certain ways, like that air energy, communicative, maybe not so like emotionally communicative, but they're super intelligent, they understand things in a certain way, they're able to think logically, but not necessarily having a lot of the watery component, because I don't see any cups here, right? It feels like, okay, what they think they can do is then shift this into like, let me try to be a lot more stable. And I think it's somebody that wants to try again is what I'm seeing here. And with the star, it's like, okay, I'm doing a lot of healing work, and for this person, the trying again is actually a new way of trying, which is, I think that's to be commended. It's actually trying to heal themselves in order to heal the connection. And it's like, that's the way that, that's the way that they put the effort in. So, like for some of us, you might be wanting to, especially if you're watching tarot readings, you might be waiting to see like actual change, like an action happen. But sometimes a lot of that change has to happen internally before anything else is seen. We do have the Prince of Swords here and the Strength card. So it feels like we do have like an airy, fiery, like, so Gemini and Leo here. It feels like somebody is trying to gather their energy to kind of to take some action, and I feel like they want to do this fairly soon. As we said, this person might have all the faculty on their own, figuring things out, but maybe how they show up, because they're just kind of, it's like sea legs, or is it sea legs, like new legs. They're trying to figure out how to get around this kind of communication thing, because the communication now carries with it the emotion, and so they might show up in a way that could be a little bit maybe not as how do I say that, not as kind of soft and yielding as you might like. They might have like a lot of, they might not express themselves in a way, and that even includes maybe being a little bit sharp sometimes. And I think for you, it's figuring out how you're going to navigate that. If you want to have that conversation, the person here is seeming to do the work, and they're trying, but sometimes when people show up, we have to kind of accept them in the way that they do show up, if we can acknowledge that they are making the efforts. If you are in the business of holding space for someone. So yeah, okay, all right. And the card I drew is the Emotions card from the Modern Nirvana Oracle. And this was exactly what I was saying, is like, this person here is trying their best to get in touch with emotions. It might be the first time that they have had to really like express, sit with them and navigate emotions, and that can be difficult. That can be a learning process. It's almost like seeing a grown person navigating emotions in the way that like a toddler would. And I do see that for your person here. It's like they know that they want to manifest this, but the work that they're trying to put in, and with the help of whatever guide or spirit, if you want to say spirit, that's fine, but whatever kind of universal help there is, I think that's also happening as well. So it's like, what would you do? How would you hear this person out if they came back? Yeah, and tried to express, tried to communicate. They're probably not going to be as eloquent as you would like, but what would you do? So this is your message, and thank you for watching. If you like this, please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this is in relation to your situation at all. Let's close with some signs that we have here. Aquarius, we have what is this? What is the air sign? Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius twice. We have Gemini And we have Virgo, we have Pisces, we have okay, we got Gemini again. So a lot of Gemini, Aquarius energy. And then we have I believe that's Virgo again, a lot of Virgo energy. And Leo, we do have Leo twice. So whatever is here is like here twice. All right guys, so take care, all the best.